Good morning, everyone. So, yes, I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm recording this the same day, but I'm going to go over what we're going to be doing on Wednesday, May 6th. So today is Wednesday, May 6th. We're going to be dealing a lot with two things today: situational irony and formal versus informal language. We are going to be reading, it is one of the longest stories that we are going to read for this last unit. It's called Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell. We're going to be analyzing some text questions, watching a video on situational irony, looking at examples of situational irony from the text, and then also working with formal versus informal language. So let's get started. All right, our objective today is I can apply appropriate strategies to notice, annotate, connect, and respond to ideas in multiple reads of a semi-autobiographical story to explain a thematic perspective of home and the use of formal and informal language in a Google form. Shooting an Elephant. Today we will be reading Shooting an Elephant, as I said, by George Orwell. The essay describes the experience of the English narrator, possibly Orwell himself, called upon to shoot an aggressive elephant while working as a police officer in Burma. Because the locals expect him to do the job, he does so against his better judgment, and his anguish is increased by the elephant's slow and painful death. The story is regarded as a metaphor for British imperialism, and for Orwell's view that when the white man turns tyrant, it is his own freedom that he destroys. You can find the story in multiple different places. I will be putting it in Google Classroom. It'll be available in Pearson. You can also just type in Shooting an Elephant PDF, and it should be the very first thing that pops up. Once again, it is a little bit of a longer reading, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, so where are we in this story? We are located in Burma, which is near India, as you can see from the arrow there. Our author is in the upper right-hand corner, and the victim is our beautiful elephant that is on a rampage in the city. Okay, for this section, we're going to be doing this after you read the story, so once you're done going through the PowerPoint, go back and read the story before you do the handout on Google Classroom. But we're going to be looking at three major questions. We're going to be analyzing Orwell describes several ways in which the Burmese disrespect him. Does he blame them for treating him this way? Ultimately, what reason does he give for killing the elephant, and do you think his reason is legitimate? And then finally, working with our essential question, what does it mean to call a place home? What have you learned about the nature of home by reading this text? So I want you to think about those when you do go back and read. Once you're done reading and you've answered those three questions on the Google Doc, we're going to then talk about situational irony. So situational irony is a noun. It is irony involving a situation in which actions have an effect that is opposite from what was intended, so that the outcome is contrary to what was expected. So I'm going to show you this video clip. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to think about it, and then I'm going to go over what might be ironic about it.
I have to do something! Oh, they don't have anything I like here, so take care, Celia.
Michael, what's going on?
Celia, please try to understand. I have to do something!
Michael? Oh, good.
On three. 1, 2.
There's a kid here! A human kid! Oh! Come on! Let's get out of here!
Michael!
Oh, Celia!
Ow, stop pushing.
Hey, get your hands off my schmoopsy poo!
Building clear. Ready for decontamination.
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
If witnesses are to be believed, there has been a child security breach for the first time in monster history.
We can neither confirm nor deny the presence of a human child here tonight.
Well, a kid flew right over me and blasted a car with its laser vision.
I tried to run from it, but it picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a doll.
It's true! I saw the whole thing!
It is my professional opinion that now is the time to panic.
Okay. So, what could possibly be ironic about that? The fact is, monsters are actually supposed to be the ones that are scaring the humans, but the human was the one who scared all the monsters. Situational irony. Just like these two images are ironic. So nothing is written in stone, but that is actually written in stone. Thank you for driving carefully. Somebody's actually flipped over their car. So what you're going to do right now is you're going to go back to the story that you've read, and you are going to find 2 examples of situational irony. You're going to fill them out on the Google Doc. And to finish us out, you are going to look at formal versus informal language. So you're going to go back to paragraphs 2 and 3 of Shooting an Elephant. Use the graph to the right to identify at least 3 examples of formal and informal language. You need 3 of each, so 3 informal, 3 formal. And you're going to complete that on the exit slip. So this list that's off to your right-hand side, this just gives you some examples. So I could ask you for something, or I could inquire about something. I could book a flight, or I could reserve a flight. I can get presents, or I can receive presents. I can need something, or I can request something. I can say sorry, or I can apologize. So it's just different ways of saying the same word, but it makes it sound a little bit more formal. Now to show you the document, so these are those 3 questions that I told you about at the beginning. So we're going to interpret, we're going to make a judgment, and we're going to look at the essential question. And this document is called Conventions and Style, Formal versus Informal. Then we're going to look at the situational irony. So, George Orwell's Shooting an Elephant is a complex autobiographical essay that examines an event that took place in colonial Burma. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, guys. Orwell's analysis of the situation is dependent on the narrative he tells about himself as a young man. To fully appreciate the essay and its nuances, look for ways in which the narrative element leads to situational irony. This is a circumstance in which the outcome of events is significantly different from what either participants in the story or readers expected. To help you prepare, consider the following. You want to look at the characters' actions, their relationships, and their attitudes. Once you have found 2 examples that you think count, you're going to record them here. Then, you're going to work on some formal and informal language. So it gives you directions here. It gives you an example of formal and informal tone. For each of these, you're literally just going to put in here whether or not it's formal or informal. So formal is an F, informal is an I. If you're unsure, just leave it blank. Then you'll go to the next page, explain the effect that Orwell creates with each example from part A. So, going back up to that. Once you are done with that, you are done with the assignments. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. You made it through your 2nd week. Good job. And I will talk to you later. Please, once again, email me if you have any issues or questions. Have a good day.